Hi everyone, my name is Cassandra and I'm a single mother of an 18-year-old autistic boy. I really don't like social media. It's something that I try to stay away from. But when I'm led to and the needs be for me to sound the trumpet and the alarm, I will. One of the things that grieves me the most is to see Christians, Christians who we consider ourselves to be saved and the light and the salt of the earth, living worse than those out there in the world that we quote unquote claim that does not know God, right? And we say we are the light and the salt of the earth and we should know God and have a relationship with Him. And when you look at the lifestyle that some of us live and how we treat our brothers and sisters inside and outside of church, people of God, I'm telling you, for most persons who know me know I had my son when I was 12 years old. For what I went through, I don't see myself as a victim, and I don't see my story as something that I want to be pitied for. At that time, I did not know the nature and depths of the hell that I was going through, but thanks be to God, He brought me out. So I don't want anyone to view me as a victim. For a second, I'm a victor and overcomers testify, because we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimonies. All right. My reason for doing this video is, one, I am an advocate for the disabled community or challenged person. I have an autistic son, 18 years old, and it bleeds my heart to see how they're being treated less than humans, as if they don't have the rights to be here, to breathe the same oxygen that we're breathing, as if it's not blood that runs through them. People see them as a nuisance to society. Rewind back to last year, the incident with RGD, and then I had to go to CVM. So the incident with RGD happened on the Thursday, and then the Friday, on my way to CVM, another incident happened in a fast food restaurant with the security. And when I see how people and their lack of customer service, not only to regular persons, but to the disabled community, and the security had the audacity to tell me that I need to keep him locked up in the house and not bring him out in public, all because his brain does not understand to stand in a line and he doesn't like crowd. But I always make people aware I am sorry, he's autistic, excuse me, because he doesn't comprehend why should he be standing here in a long line when he needs to get something. That's how his brain operates. But I realize that the public is not educated on how to treat people, one, and then there's lack of compassion. Because even though I was explaining to these so-called should be normal quote-unquote persons, because believe me, I don't think anything is wrong with these type of persons. I believe that the regular human, normal human beings, something is definitely wrong with us, not them. Because when you know that they will stay in their routine and keep to on their part and focus on what they're doing, and we're always all over the place being busybody and in others people's business. Anyhow, I was explaining to this should be grandfather, is a senior security, that he's autistic, and he had the audacity to tell me that he doesn't want to hear what I'm saying. The supervisor called me and she cashed Maurice, because everybody inside there know him. And even though one of the staff was trying to explain to the security that, he's not so, they're going to say he's not so mentally, he wasn't willing to even listen to that. He didn't want to hear that. He was so prideful, right? And so full of himself that he realized that he has done something wrong, and he wasn't man enough to say that, well, I didn't know, and I'm sorry. Pride cometh before destruction, and a hearty spirit before a fall. Anyhow, Maurice held on to my hand and he dragged me like he saying, Mommy, come on, not this today. We went to CVM. It was a heck of a day, but I was determined to let my story be told, right? Because our governments and Jamaica, because I'm going to start with right where I'm at, and I don't want anybody commenting telling me that this is going on in other parts of the world too. Because Jamaica, right where I'm at, I'm taking the plank out of my eye. This is my country. This is where I'm birthed. This is where I'm living. This is where my child is. So I'm starting right here. Jamaica, it's hard to see how we treat people. I need my voice to be heard not only for my child, but for also children like him and adults like him, persons like him. They are human beings too and they have rights. And these are things that sometimes I used to lock up, stay home with him, and I used to be so depressed and cried because it's sad sometimes. But then when I look in it, if I give up, who's gonna stand up for him? Because he cannot speak to defend himself. I weep. But after I finish crying and I finish eating that word and I get up, I'm going to give the devil and his demons them hell because my child shall excel. He did not come here to fail, to suck up numbers, to make up ear, or to just take up space on planet Earth. No, not my child and not this mother. Not this one. The devil is a liar. But anyhow, we got through to CVM on our way coming back now on the JUTC bus. You know that once a person is pregnant, senior citizen, well, that's what they say. But when you're there most of the time, it's a totally different thing. So this is how now I had to open my big blessed mouth. I explained to the person that was at the door is autistic, so you know they're going to let him through. Anyway, who was at the steps? So Maurice is not gonna say excuse me. I'm behind him, so I'm saying excuse me. But some persons, move and I say he's autistic. I'm sorry, I apologize. Anyway, as JUTC worker, he was in a red shirt, sitting in the front seat instead of assisting to make the process easy. And this is a man, so-called should be man. I mean a male frame, because these aren't man. I don't know what has happened to our male species in Jamaica. Not talk about society, I talk about yes stuff right now in Jamaica here. He sat there and he was like, you need for wait. So me say, I apologize, he's autistic. Just let him go and see, because he's also nearsighted. So sometimes he doesn't want to wear the glasses, so he doesn't really see that well in stepping. So I say, he hold on, let him go and sit and I pay the fare. The man is like, I don't care if he's disabled, challenge or handicap, him need for wait. My temper start boiling, believe me. Maurice sat in the chair and he held down his head. Because even though he doesn't really respond like you and I, he understands. And I turned to him and I said to him that, how can you say something like that? Aren't he just as human being as you and he has just as much right as you? Because I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm all innocent. When it comes to my child, my defense goes up. Especially when I see that you don't exercise courtesy and compassion. Mark Doing, I'm very understanding. I'm very understanding. And I like to always explain as to why first. But if I see that you're not willing to, as to even exercise any compassion when it comes to him, then I'm just going to spit fire and I don't care. Because if you don't care enough to realize that this person is not that he wants to be this way, but he is born this way, and it's hard for him to live with difficult persons such as us in society. And I turned to him, he said, him not care. I turned to him and I said to him that, this is why some of us just walked off this bus as something can hit us or you can fall down and hit your head and become an handicap too. Would you like somebody treat you this way? I said to him, and the tears filled my eye and he was there going on. Then the driver herself, this was a female now. Oh, the bus was so peaceful before I came on it and she need the bus to be peaceful. And I turned to her and I say, you know what? You're so right, because I can't argue with ignorance. And I went to my seat and I sat and I say, this is why a change have to come. Not willfully, but by force in Jamaica. It has to come because there's nobody up there in the political party, or should I say in the cabinet, making decision because they are challenged or they have kids to deal with this way. And even if they do, they have money to pay for certain resources so their child don't experience lack, resentment, rejection, or kicked out there and left alone, brush one side, like they don't have a right here in society too. It's hard. And so upon all of that transpired, I paid for a 7-day express at RGD in March, and can you believe I got the birth paper last year, November? And I got it because in a parent group, and the person didn't want me to take it back to the media. So she, and I do appreciate her extending her time, effort, and energy to get me the birth paper. When I got the birth paper and she called somebody there to assist me, the birth paper was right there. And what they did was to continue rebatching the birth paper. The so-called manager for the customer service department, I called her phone, she know the situation. She said they don't do delivery. Guys, when I reach out there, I found out that they do deliver birth paper, especially in this case, because when I got my son one like 17 years ago, they came to my gate and delivered, so I didn't know, and none of this was explained to me. And then talking to this so-called professional on the phone, because I'm quote unquote uneducated, Mark, I stopped going to school from 13 years old to work to take care of my child. So because I'm uneducated, as they put it, right? And they are qualified, educated, and very intelligent, but dunce. She was there on the phone. She know the situation, and she actually told me all of this. Now, guys, when I found out that she actually lied to me, right? You know how much my blood boiled, but the lady that assisted me, the presence of God was in her rich. And she said to me, you know what? This has been this way like forever since. When these people come to work, they just come to work, and whatever mood they're on, they throw it out on the people. Now, if these are government entities that offer service and this is their customer service, what do you leave the regular society people to do, and how do you expect us as a public to react? Mark, I'm not saying that the public is easy to deal with at times, but our reaction, as in us delivering a service to them, can determine the outcome of it. Because I do natural juices, I have a business, right? Which I don't really get much support for, but thanks be to God, it's still going strong. And I'm grateful for all the good Samaritans that has extended their compassion and their hands to help in assisting me. Because I don't want to be the type of mother with my hands stretched forth begging. So I will put something in place and then I'll ask for assistance, which I'm doing right now. But I'll get to that in a few. And she said to me, when she said that to me, I cried and I walked off with Maurice. And I came home and I sat and I think. And I said, Lord, what is going to happen to these persons, people with wheelchair? It's not that they don't want to do better for themselves, but it's just that how the system is set up, it does not accommodate them. And it's sad. And I've been wanting to launch a YouTube channel in speaking about this whole issue for a long while. But I've been so distracted and caught up in everything. I'm not making any excuses really. I take full responsibility, but I'm a single mother. And I have a child that I'm raising not to be a victim of his circumstances, but to be a victor and rise above it. And people of God, I want to encourage some mother out there. Had my son very early. I could have left him on my mother and not come back, or maybe just send money because I used to travel. But I gave up all of that to be here with my son because I tell myself he's my responsibility. He's nobody's problem or burden. He's mine. I choose to give him life and to bring him here. So I'm doing the best I can for him. Fast forward to now, launching this Counseling Restorative Center. And for those who don't know, you can look it up in the Gleaner, the Cassandra Terlong story. And people have got all I need is $280,000 just to be the deposit. I'm grateful for the few persons that have reached out so far and have contributed. But because the lack of resources, the money keeps getting going back spending in other areas. And then it's out of this, I have to be paying bills, providing food for my son, transportation, schooling, all of that. But I'm passionate about this, and I know that this vision will make a difference not only in my life as it has already been and in my son's life, but it will be able to equip and empower some young girls or young boys out there who have been molested, raped, and left for dead. And maybe they feel like, it's all over for them. So I'm doing this to just extend not only my compassion, courtesy, but also I want to extend this vision to benefit those who is in need of it. Mark, this is not for everybody. This is for some who needs it. But I'm saying to each and every person right now, sometimes we're at the end of our rope and we don't have the energy to hold on to God. So just ask God to hold you. Because He knows the reason why I'm here of His sound mind and not dead as yet. Believe me, I've gone through it with families, rejected, church families, you name it. Um, right now I'm going through a wilderness season where it's just me, God, and my son and whoever He allows to maybe at time assist me. But I've given it up to Him because this is His vision that He has given me. And Mark, His word says that He will not bring us to it and not bring us through it. So I want to say I'm here at the property. Thanks be to God for favor. And I'm holding, I'm holding and hoping and praying that I trust, I do believe, but at times my faith waver, that He will open a financial door some way, someone out there will lay it on their heart to just bless this vision, that it shall be established exceedingly abundantly, above measures, beyond borders and territories. Because there's so much hurting persons here that if they have a place that they could go to or come to just be, loved, encouraged, and empowered, they can make a difference for another person also. And then we can start the healing process. But everybody's broken and hurting, and the church is like the last place to go to right now. Because right now, the church don't even know where they stand in society right now. They have put in out the spirit of faith and have welcomed the spirit of fear. And it saddens me, and I'm not talking because I just want to talk for talk's sake. I mean, I've put the word to the test, and when you walk the word, these very same so-called leaders actually prosecute you. But this is where the Holy Spirit takes you back in the Bible and reveals to you the Pharisee spirit. That when God actually comes and He's using you as a David in society, as a Jesus to do something different from their normal doctrines and theological teachings and their preachings and what they know, they will kill you because you're actually coming to make them look like a fool. Because half of what they're preaching, they're not practicing it, and it's sad. So just appealing to someone out there, like, share, and subscribe to this channel and be encouraged because our best is yet to come. Because even after Revelation, there was a new Jerusalem. There is a new Jerusalem. But guess what? God doesn't start anything that He doesn't finish, and He doesn't finish anything that He hasn't started. This is His witness, servant, and saint, Cassandra, servant of the Most High God. Bold, fearless, unstoppable, right? Imperfect, though. Like a grenade or a missile in the Holy Spirit. But I just want to give God thanks that, He brought me out of this state of depression. in my sound mind and got up stronger with a mightier testimony, with the mindset and the ability to do better daily, to be a better version of myself, and to be a living example of what a witness of what light and salt needs to be here in the earth. Mark, I don't pretend I don't know how to, and I don't need to. That is the reason why I'm not in certain organizations. Because once I see nonsense and bull, I'm going to speak against it. And if it's not in the word of Almighty God and I'm not living it and not experiencing it, why should I talk about it? Be blessed, people of God. Our best is still yet to come. Amen.